YouTube kids in a batch, and we won't have more of that. Hi, women. Welcome to Swiflearn. Okay, so now we all know that we have maximum of 6 students. So if you really want, you can bring your 6 friends at a max together and make your own personalized batch, and a teacher can be present there and you all can sit together. That's why it's an online platform where it's possible that everyone at different places can come together and learn with us. So here, not only the teacher, but there is academic mentor team that keeps a track of your work progress. So your classwork, your homework, your assessment, each and everything is being tracked by the teacher, as well as there is academic mentor team that keeps a track of it. So it's not only just the teachers, but there is a team also working hard towards it and make sure that you understand the things and your graph is always increasing. So learning is always high. We also cover syllabus as per school exam schedule. So whenever you have a school exam, you can let us know and we are here to teach you. So we make sure that whatever topics that you are coming, or whatever the topics and different variety of questions that can be asked in the school exam, we cover it before your school exams and you can perform great and see your better results. All right. And that is why it's known for its sincerity throughout the world. Yes, Swiflearn is known as India's most sincere learning destination for classes 1st to 10. So all of you are 1st to 10, what are you waiting for? Quickly join in for a free trial class. Yes, that's absolutely right. We are having a free trial class for you all kids. You can book there and see that whatever we are saying, is it true or not? So let me put some more light that you need to go and check on the panel with us. All right. So one of this detailed progress report that we will give you a form of a statistics that will show the graph in which you are proceeding, how quickly you're able to learn graphs, how quickly are you able to solve the questions. Not only that, the timing in which are you able to solve it or not, that is also taken a track of it. So we get to know that the child is confident or it had little problem in asking that question. And now we are able to come to that point and clarify it. All right. So here, not only that, we also have SAT exams. That is known as Swiflearn Academic Test Series. What does this exam say? This is the exam which is conducted throughout the globe. So it's a world exam where you all can perform and see where you stand in an international level. Right? So why are we doing it? Because end of the day, when you are in a real world, you're not competing with your school friends, not your friends, not your school students, not the batch or the sections in the how many are there. You're competing with the whole world. When you go on for a job interview, anyone from different countries will come and apply for that, right? In the universities as well. So what is this helping it? It's helping us to know where do we stand globally? How much have I improved, or how much should I improve more to sustain my level? All right. So when something like this is needed, you need practice tests, and we know that. So that's why we are also offering unlimited practice tests where you can go and practice as many questions as you want. So there is no limit on the numbers. So these practice tests are of 2 types. One is objective, one is subjective. So objective means having multi-choice question. We need to click any one of it. Subjective means we need to write each and everything in proper answers, and the teacher would be there to check it and give you in the response that have you mentioned the right reasoning or not? Is there something missing, or you need to put it in some other way so that you don't lose your half a mark or minor of the mark that is required for those things in your school exams, and the way it's required, and you succeed good in it. All right, so that's it. If you really like to hear it from us and you want us to come up again with a new topic altogether and you want to hear it from us, you need to subscribe to the channel and press on the bell icon so that you never miss any update. So whatever the update that is coming up, that whenever this teacher is coming in live, you can come and check out all your doubts for that chapter, or you can come and learn simultaneously the chapter with us. If you really want to do it, you need to press on the bell icon. Remember that. All right. And if you really like this video, try to share it and like it and share it with your friends so that they can also come into the platform and get something useful that is going on. All right. So here we go with our topic, that is rectilinear figures part 3. So we already covered first and second. You can go back and see that. So in first one, we were able to understand what are polygons, and the later one, we were able to understand what are the quadrilaterals, different type of it. We will continue more of that. Hi Aisha, welcome. All right, so now what are we going to do? We are going to understand and recall the quadrilaterals that were done in the second session. So this session will be a backup, a plan. If you have not done it, we'll just do a brushing up of it quickly. You will be able to understand, and then we'll learn about the theorems based on rectilinear figures. How is the properties of a quadrilateral, a parallelogram, what are they, and what are the theorems related to it, and we'll understand their proofs. So proofs, I know everyone tells you to mug it up or learn it. No, guys, it's super easy. Just imagine it like a question and you will be able to solve it with us, with Swiflearn. Yes, that's what we're making sure that whatever we are teaching, we are not telling you anything to mug up. We are just explaining you understand the concept, and whenever a different variety of question is put in front of you, you are able to answer it. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's see I am satisfying that or not. So first, let me ask you the definition of a quadrilateral. Any one of you, so many of you are here, so any one of you can tell me what is a quadrilateral? Yeah, what do you think does the word quadrilateral means? Yeah, we are revising from the second session. All right, so let's see how many of you know it. Okay, great. So rectangular quadrilateral is a figure which has 4 sides in the dimension of a flat shape which is closed and have straight lines, right? So when I talk about something like this, why am I mentioning it's a straight line? Because if I talk about something like this, do you call it a quadrilateral? You don't, because it has a curved area. So this is not a quadrilateral. It should be closed. So if I say something like this, so yes, you said 4 sides, it is. Is it closed? No, so this is not a quadrilateral. It has to be closed. So that's why the definition of quadrilateral says it has to be 4 sides and it's 2-dimensional, closed, and have straight sides. Straight sides means straight lines, no curved lines are there. Should have 4 sides, including 4 angles with them. Whichever 2 sides means they make an angle between it. So that's why they should be closed. They should have straight lines, 4 sides, and 4 angles. So then we further classified the quadrilateral into different categories, and we were able to explain the properties. If you haven't, I'll do it brush up very quickly. And the ones who really want to understand in detail, you need to go and check the second session of this quadrilateral rectilinear figures part 2. All right, so what a rectangular means? Rectangle means having 4 sides, right? So let me draw a rectangular that is easy for me to do it simply. So this is known as a rectangle when the opposite sides are equal. So when I talk about this side is equals to this side is equals to this side, and all the 4 angles that are made are 90 degree, right? This is what is known as a rectangle. Moving on to a parallelogram. Parallelogram says that the opposite sides are parallel to each other, and we'll understand in details. Whereas a trapezium says any one side is parallel to the other one is not, then it comes into the category of trapezium. Rhombus says that all the sides should be parallel and equal, but they do not make an angle of 90 degree, right? So angles are not equal. Whereas in a square, we say when a thing is called a square, when all the 4 sides are equal and make a 90 degree angle, so then we call it a category of a square. All right, so I hope you have understood. We just did a quick brief of it. Later on, you can go back to the first video and see. So there were some points on remember in the second video. If you remember, what have we discussed? Yeah, so what were the points to remember? The angle measurement, right? The interior angle, how do we measure it? The exterior angle, how do we measure it? How do we know the number of sides? Just revising that once again, the sum of interior angles of a convex polygon of sides n is 2n minus 4 into 90 degree, whereas there is a regular polygon and then each of the interior angle would be divided by its sides. Simple, we all know it, right? See, if I say the sum is this much, and I want to know one of the interior sides, that means I need to divide it by the number of sides. That's why we have done divided it by n. So you know it. We are applying a unitary method that if the sum of all the sides is this, then each interior angle would be the same thing into 90 divided by n. So you don't need to learn that. You can simply understand why are we doing it, because we are applying a unitary method here. All right, moving on to next topic that we have. How do we calculate the exterior angles of a regular polygon? So when we all know that the sum of exterior angle is always 360 degree. We all know that, right? Interior angle sum keeps on changing, whereas the sum of exterior angles remains always 360 degree. So whenever we have to calculate the each exterior angle, because the sum we already know. Similarly, we'll apply the unitary method that says 360 degree divided by n. So I hope you don't need to learn now. So you just need to understand why the interior angle is this. For the total exterior angle, sum of all the exterior angles are 360 degree. All right. Here we go with the next one. What do we have with us is, as the number of sides of a regular polygon increases, the measurement of each interior angle is also increasing. So do you know what are happening? If you haven't done the first video with me, if you understood, then when we talked about a quadrilateral, let's make a rectangular one. What do we do in this? We try to make a diagonal in which what happens is this is divided into how many parts? It's divided into two triangles. One is A, B, C. And the other one is B, C, D. All right, let me name it C and let me name it D. So they was divided into triangle A, B, D, and the other one was triangle B, C, D, right? So we divided into two triangles. In that case, what is happening? I know the sum of this side of an angle triangle is 180 degree. Similarly, this becomes 180 degree. Then sum of a quadrilateral, that means the side has 4, is 360 degree. How about 5? So what do I do if I add another one? Let's add another side and see that. Okay, what happens to the next one? If I'm adding another side to it, so what will happen? So in that case, this gets connected, right? But now what is happening? We don't have this side. Instead, we have the other one. It still remains 4. But we're about our pentagon when we talk about. So let's make a pentagon. All right, so here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sides means a pentagon. So let's see how many triangles can we break into. So let's do this. So one is this triangle, the other one is this. So how many are there? 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 triangles in which we were able to do that. So each triangle is 180 degree. Sum of 180 degree. So 3 triangles we multiplying by 3. To simplify now, what do you see when there were 2 sides? Then when there were 4 sides, then it was 360 degree. When there were 3 sides, then it was 180 degree. Now, when there are 4 sides, it becomes 360 degree into 180 degree into 3. So it's keep on increasing. That's what it says. The number of sides of a regular polygon increase. Then the measurement of the interior angles also increase because the sum is increasing. Then particularly when you talk about a single angle, automatically that will also increase. All right. So this is what the relation you need to understand, that one statement can give us so many solutions. So if you're able to evaluate and get linking to the points is done, then the things become super easy. Then whatever question is coming up, you are a little more pro to that. You are knowing how to connect the words, how to understand, then the things become super easy. All right. Now, that's what we said. The sum of all the exterior angles formed by the convex polygon is same in order that the equal is 4 right angles, that is 360 degree. So whenever we come up to a total of all the exterior angles, it is always 360 degree. This never changes, whereas the sum of interior angles keep on changing, whereas the sum of exterior angles, that never ever changes. So have you learned that the square, rectangle, and rhombuses are a parallelogram? So do you have any idea about this statement? Yeah, any one of you who can tell me that how can we say that this statement is true or the statement is false? Let us see. What does it say? See, let's understand the properties of a parallelogram first. What do we call a parallelogram? And then we will compare. Is square can be called a parallelogram? Can rectangle be called a parallelogram? Can rhombuses be called a parallelogram? And then similarly, we'll be able to do that. So we will have you learned about it. So let's understand what does it say. Yes, that's true. But how is it? But we talk about how is that true. So let me give you one example. When we talk about a square, so can you see that opposite sides are parallel to each other? Yes, so they are parallel. Whereas the opposite angles are equal? Yes, they are. So of course, square is a parallelogram. Moving on to another one that comes out to be which one? We talk about rectangle. So in the rectangular space, is the opposite angles parallel? This is parallel to this one. This is parallel to this one. And the opposite angles are equal. Yes, it is. So that becomes a parallelogram. All right. So this is how we will be able to know that do they come into category of a parallelogram or not. So the only regular parallelogram quadrilateral is a square. So when we talk about a regular one, what do we talk in the term of regular? That means all the sides and all the angles are equal. So just think of the options that we had discussed. We had discussed the options like, what were the options that we used to discuss? We discussed one of the option that was square, the another was rectangle, then parallelogram, then trapezium, right? So these all come into the category of quadrilateral. So are all the sides equal and all the angles equal in any of them except square? No, they aren't. Only the opposite ones are equal. So that's why it comes into the category that regular one is only a square, while all the other ones are irregular because all the sides are not equal, opposite are equal, or all the angles are equal, opposite angles are equal. So let's come up to some of the relations or theorems related to quadrilateral. So let's talk about what do we mean by a parallelogram first. So in a parallelogram, both the pairs of opposite sides are equal. So let me make a parallelogram. Suppose I say this. So this is A, B, C, T. So in a parallelogram, both the pair of opposite sides are equal. That means AB is equals to CD and AD is equals to BC. So this side is equals to this one is equals to this one. This says the first theorem that is related to this. Moving on to second one, what does it say is that the pair of, in the parallelogram, both the pairs of opposite angles are equal. That means this angle will be equal to this angle. This angle will be equals to this angle. So these are the theorems that are only applicable for a parallelogram. All right. So that's why we are saying a square is a parallelogram, rectangle is a parallelogram, because a broader prospect, it comes in the word of parallelogram, but not a quadrilateral, because it does not hold true in a trapezium. All right. So in that case, we are not taking a broader prospect of a quadrilateral. Instead, we are coming to the narrowing it and becoming it a parallelogram. तो तभी हम उसको quadrilateral नहीं बोल रहे, हम उसको parallelogram के concern में बात कर रहे हैं. ठीक है बच्चा. Moving on to next one, let's see what do we have the next theorem. हमारी next theorem क्या हमें कहती है? If one pair of an opposite side of a quadrilateral are equal and parallel, it becomes a parallelogram. So अगर one pair of an opposite quadrilateral है, parallel or equal, तो वो बन जाता है parallelogram. So each diagonal of a parallelogram bisects the parallelogram. So इसका एक और theorem जो हमारे related है कि अगर मैं एक parallelogram बना देती हूँ, let's understand what it would say. Suppose I'm making this parallelogram, right? And now I make this diagonal. So what will it make? It will make a triangle ABCD. So triangle ABD, right, will be bisected, means the area of this will be equal to triangle BCD. So this is what it says. This diagonal of the parallelogram bisects the parallelogram. All right, so it's dividing into two equal halves of a triangle. Moving on to next one, what happens if I make the another side of a diagonal? So when I make this, right, what will happen? Now this is equals to this one, this is equals to this one. So this bisects it. So diagonal of the parallelogram bisect each other. So whenever they are meeting, they are dividing it into two equal parts of that particular diagonal. सारे equal नहीं हो जाते हैं, right? सिर्फ जो diagonal है वो half half में divide हो जाती है और irrespective के उसके तरह से हमारे को उसका marks और उसके numbers मिलते हैं. All right? Now moving on to next one, what do we have for you? Is a parallelogram both the pairs of opposite angles are equal? So in a parallelogram, both the pair of opposite angles are equal. Is it true? कि हर तरीके से इसकी बात करें तो भी equal है, दूसरे की कर रहे हैं तो भी equal है. Let's see. Suppose let's understand and prove this theorem first. All right. So what do we have this theorem for? Suppose ABCD is a parallelogram. We need to compare triangle ABC and CDA. This is what we were doing, that they're divided into two equal triangles. So that means we need to compare. और compare करने की जब triangle की बात करते हैं तो बच्चा हमेशा क्या करते हैं, हम congruency prove करते हैं, right? So that's what we have planned here. So we will be proving the congruency. Congruency के अंदर सबसे पहला क्या है? AC is common. So we took that. Moving on to next one, अगर ये parallelogram है, मतलब कि AB जो है और CD जो है वो parallel है. If you remember this, what does a parallelogram say? Is the opposite side are parallel. अगर ये parallel है, what does AC become? AC become the transversal. So in transversal, जब ये हमारी CD एक लाइन है, और ए बी एक लाइन है जो पैरेलल है, और ए सी उसकी क्या बन गई, ट्रांसवर्सल बन गई. इन दैट केस व्हाट विल हैपन, एंगल ए एंड एंगल 1 and angle 4 will be equal because they are alternative interior angles. Whereas when we talk about this one, angle 2 and angle 3 are equal because they are also alternative interior angles. अब ये वाला एंगल इसके इक्वल है, ये वाला एंगल इक्वल है, तो दोनों एंगल्स भी इक्वल हो गए, राइट? सो इन दैट केस आई गॉट टू नो दैट विद दिस होल दिस साइड इज एंगल इज इक्वल. सो दैट मीन्स एंगल ऑफ डी ए बी is equals to angle of DCP. तो मैं ये तो इक्वली प्रूफ कर सकती हूँ. तो मैंने उसी को प्रूफ करने के लिए मैंने क्या करा, इन दोनों ट्रायंगल में कॉन्ग्रुएंसी प्रूफ कर दी. सो किससे प्रूफ करी, एक तो साइड लिया और दो एंगल्स लिए. तो एंगल साइड एंगल से आई वाज एबल टू प्रूव दैट दीज टू ट्रायंगल्स आर कॉन्ग्रुएंट. सो व्हेन दीज टू ट्रायंगल्स आर कॉन्ग्रुएंट, व्हाट डज इट टेल मी, दैट एंगल P इज इक्वल्स टू एंगल D. ठीक है ना, एंगल B और एंगल D भी इक्वल होगा. Similarly, we can show that angle A is equal to angle C. ये तो हमने डायरेक्टली वैसे ही कर लिया था कि अगर ये दोनों एक दूसरे के इक्वल है तो उनका सम भी इक्वल होगा, obviously, right? So in that case, we are able to prove that the opposite angles of a parallelograms are equal. So both the opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. If I talk about only one opposite angle equal, then it does not come into a category of a parallelogram. सिंपल हुआ, हमें ये पता चल गया पैरेललोग्राम की दोनों जो साइड्स है ऑपोजिट वाली वो पैरेलल होती हैं. सेकंड की उनके ऑल्टरनेटिव जो ऑपोजिट एंगल्स होते हैं वो भी इक्वल होते हैं. दिस इज हाउ वी आर एबल टू प्रूव दिस क्वेश्चन. ऑलराइट, लेट्स अस विजुअलाइज इट. जो हमने बोला, द विजुअलाइजेशन इज रियली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज दैट हेल्प्स अस टू रिमेमोराइज द थिंग्स एंड लर्न इट इजीली. ऑलराइट, सो हियर वी गो टू विजुअलाइज इट. सो व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट इट, डू यू सी AD and BD, they both are 17 centimeters, what the unit is. Now CD and AB are same, whereas the angle ABC is equals to angle ADC and the angle BCD is equals to angle BAC. So let's try to move and do it someday. So now when I try to move, do you see the angles keep on changing? Even if the side is increasing, it's equally increasing. So can you see now? Now I try to bring it down, or I'm trying to bring it up. The side is increasing and the angles are equal. Let's try it another way. Now this side is increasing. This becomes AD becomes 22. BC also is 22. And the angles remain the same, irrespective of how do I move it. So anyway I'm going, this will always be same. So coming to the nutshell, what does a parallelogram means? That the opposite sides are parallel and equal. So AD is equals to BC. And AB is equals to CD. This is parallel and equal. Moving on to next one, the opposite angles are always equal. Both the angles are equal, then only we call it that it's a category of a parallelogram. All right, everyone, is it easy now? Understood? Great. Moving on to next one. What does it say? That in a parallelogram, both the pairs of opposite angles are equal. So, एक parallelogram में opposite angles equal होते हैं, दोनों pairs के. We were able to prove it once again. So, let us understand कि how can we do it directly if something of this type of a theorem is asked to us. So, we'll say, okay, ABCD is a quadrilateral. Now, I know it is a quadrilateral. That means AB is parallel to CD. AD is parallel to BC. अब पैरेलल है तो वही जो मैंने आपको कहा था कि ट्रांसवर्सल बन जाएगा, कि मेरे को उसको शो करना है कि वो पैरेललोग्राम है. सो अगर वो पैरेलल है तो लेट्स ड्रॉ AC व्हिच बिकम्स अ डायगोनल. दैट वी नीड टू प्रूव कि वो डायगोनल है या नहीं. सो इन अ ट्रायंगल ABC and CDA we are talking about, let's prove the congruency. It's given that AD is equals to CD, BC is equals to CA because it's a quadrilateral and it's given to us, and AC is equals to CA is common. So end of the day, I'm using all the three sides, and by side congruency property, I'm able to prove that the two triangles that were formed are congruent. Now, अगर मेरे triangle congruent है, मतलब उसके angles जो है दोनों opposite ही equal होंगे, CP/CT. Let's go back to the video and go back to the slide which we had before and see. See अब अच्छा इसमें क्या करा, ये वाली साइड इसके इक्वल है, ये वाली साइड इसके इक्वल है, राइट? और ये वाली तो वैसे ही कॉमन साइड है, तो ऑटोमेटिकली क्या हो गया, ये दोनों ट्रायंगल्स कॉन्ग्रुएंट हो गए. अगर ये ट्रायंगल्स कॉन्ग्रुएंट है, व्हाट डज मीन, दिस एंगल इज इक्वल्स टू दिस एंगल. and this angle is equals to this angle that we also discussed in F1 form in the first question. अब इससे congruency से CPCT से मैंने angles भी prove कर ली कि they are equal. Then what do I know? When the angles are equal, that was what required to prove. Similarly, AD is parallel to BC and AC is a transversal. So we get to know that DAC will be equal to BCA. Moving on to next one, what does it say? Adding these and two, we'll get to know the whole side is equal to the other one. And now we know that BAT is equals to CDCB. And hence we can prove that the opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. एक और बार जल्द से रिवाइज करते हैं क्या करा हमने इस फिगर में. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हमने ये ट्राइंगल्स बनाए जहाँ पे AC को हमने एक लाइन ले लिया जो इन दोनों से मीट करता है. ठीक है, अब हमारे पास टू पार्ट्स में ये क्वाड्रिलैटरल जो है वो टू पार्ट्स में डिवाइड हो गया. व्हाट इज गिवन दैट दिस इज इक्वल्स टू दिस, दिस साइड इज इक्वल्स टू दिस. अब ये थर्ड साइड तो इक्वली है, तो बाय साइड प्रॉपर्टी कॉन्ग्रुएंसी रूल से मैंने ये दोनों ट्राइंगल्स को कॉन्ग्रुएंट प्रूफ कर दिया. Now when it's congruent, what does mean? that ये वाला एंगल इसके एंगल इक्वल है CPCT से, राइट? सो नाउ आई नो इट. अब अगर मैं इसकी बात करूं तो ये वाला एंगल किसके इक्वल है? इसके एंगल के. और ये वाला एंगल किसके इक्वल है? ये वाले एंगल के. आई कैन प्रूव दैट यूजिंग CPCT. अदर वे सिमिलरली व्हाट कैन आई डू इज कि अगर मेरा ये दोनों पैरेलल हैं, ये ट्रांसवर्सल है, दैट मीन्स द अल्टरनेटिव एंगल्स आर इक्वल. सो इन दैट केस आई गॉट टू नो व्हेन दे आर अल्टरनेटिव आई कैन ऐड बोथ ऑफ देम, दे आर सेम, विल गिव मी द रिजल्ट दैट सेइंग दैट दिस होल साइड इज इक्वल्स टू दिस होल एंगल, दिस होल एंगल इज इक्वल टू दिस एंगल. दैट्स टेल मी कि पैरेललोग्राम में ऑपोजिट एंगल्स जो होते हैं वो हमेशा इक्वल होते हैं और ऑपोजिट साइड्स भी इक्वल होती हैं. All right, moving on to the next theorem that we have for you. If one pair of an opposite side of a quadrilateral are equal and parallel, is it a parallelogram? Let's see. So it's given a quadrilateral ABCD. AB is parallel to CD and AB is equal to CD. मुझे ये बोलना है कि ये parallelogram है या नहीं. So first of all, ABCD is a parallelogram है या नहीं, तो मुझे तो ये बताया हुआ है सिंपल कि AB is parallel to CD and AD is parallel to BC because it's a quadrilateral and quadrilaterals opposite sides are parallel. This what we know the rule. तो इसी quadrilateral के वर्ड से मुझे ये पता चल जाता है कि what is it that AB is parallel to DC and AD is parallel to BC. Alright, अभी हमने parallel proof कर लिया. Moving on to next one, what do we see? Let's construct and join AC. क्योंकि वो एक तरह से क्या मेरे लिए हेल्प करता है, मेरे लिए एक तरह से वो डायगोनल बन जाता है और डायगोनल बनने से मेरे लिए AC क्या होता है, उसको टू पार्ट्स में ट्राइंगल में कन्वर्ट करता है जिससे मैं कॉन्ग्रुएंसी प्रूफ कर सकता हूँ. दिस इज व्हाट वी ऑलवेज फॉलो, राइट? सो अब मैंने AC को ज्वाइन किया. अब AB is parallel to CD and AC is a transversal. अगर वो पैरेलल है और वो दोनों लाइंस को ज्वाइन कर रहा है तो ऑटोमेटिकली क्या बन जाता है? ट्रांसवर्सल बन जाता है. सो नाउ वी जस्ट जॉइंड इट एंड नाउ दिस बिकेम अ ट्रांसवर्सल. अगर ट्रांसवर्सल बन गया तो अल्टरनेटिव एंगल से क्या प्रूव हो जाएगा? दैट दिस एंगल इज इक्वल्स टू दिस एंगल. Right. Similarly, this angle will be equals to this angle. This also I can prove it. Right. So what are we doing? We are making that with the help of the same rule that we use. That two lines are parallel. We made join the points and we made a transversal. Transversal से alternative angle से हम दोनों angles को equal proof कर रहे. Now I was able to prove one of the angles. दूसरा क्या हो गया automatically? दूसरे की बात करें तो दूसरे angle में AB is equals to CD. Right. हमें दिया हुआ है और AC कॉमन है. सी गाइस, अगर मैंने इस एंगल को यहाँ पे प्रूव करा है, लेट मी टेल यू वन थिंग व्हाट हैव वी डन. मैंने अभी तक क्या करा कि ये पैरेलल है तो ये वाला एंगल जो है वो इस एंगल के इक्वल है. अब ये आगे एक्सटेंड अगर मैं करती हूँ तो ऑटोमेटिकली वो पैरेलल ही चलेगा, राइट? तो ये एंगल तो इसके भी इक्वल होगा, बट नाउ आई नीड टू लेबल इट देयर. फिर मुझे F करना पड़ेगा, E और F लेबल करना पड़ेगा कि इस साइड का जो एंगल की बात कर रहे हैं ये पूरे एंगल की वो होगा इसके कॉन्ग्रुएंट. बट अगर हम सिंपल इतने से एरिया की बात करें तो क्या हम वो प्रूव कर सकते हैं? नहीं. जस्ट रिमेंबर दैट. ओके, हम यही करते हैं कि इसके इक्वल हो गया, इसके इक्वल. नो गाइस, व्हेन वी आर ओपनिंग इट, हमेशा ये चीज याद रखना कि जब आप इसको इससे प्रूव करना चाहते हो, यही गलती हम करते हैं कि हम कहते हैं मैम इक्वल कैसे नहीं हुआ. सी, ये लाइन पैरेलल हो रही है तो अगर मैं उसको ये प्रूव कर रही हूं तो मैं इस एरिया को प्रूव कर रही हूं कि ये वाला साइड का एरिया इसके इक्वल होगा ऑल्टरनेटिव एंगल से. बट क्या मुझे इतना बड़ा एरिया ये प्रूव करना है? नहीं. आई ओनली नीड टिल हियर. इसको मैं इसके इक्वल कैसे प्रूव करूं? फॉर दैट आई नीड टू प्ले द रोल ऑफ कॉन्ग्रुएंसी ऑफ अ ट्रायंगल। रिमेंबर दैट इज व्हाई वी आर इंट्रोड्यूसिंग दिस, और तभी मुझे ऑल्टरनेटिव एंगल्स भी यूज करने पड़ रहे हैं और कॉन्ग्रुएंसी भी प्रूव करनी पड़ रही है। Alright, if I am able to prove the congruency, I will able to prove that this side of the angle is equals to this, और हम दोनों तरफ पे ऐड कर रहे हैं तो हमारा आंसर सॉल्व हो जाएगा easily. Alright, so here we go. We got two sides that are given to us an angle. So by side angle side, I'm able to prove that the triangles are congruent. That gives me that CPCT, that this angle is equal. Thus, the alternative angles, whenever the alternative angles are equal, the lines are parallel. So we get to know that the alternative angles are equal and they are parallel too. So alternative angles जब equal होते हैं तो lines automatically parallel हो जाती हैं. So in that case, I will be able to prove that AD is parallel to BC, which is given, and AD is parallel to BC, which was required, and it becomes a parallelogram. So दोनों sides जो है वो parallel भी हो गई, opposite angles जो है वो equal भी हो गए, तो automatically वो क्या बन गया? Parallel. So in that case, we will be able to yes, so in that case, when the diagonal is equal, so we are talking about the situation in which these two sides are equal. So I said AD is equals to BC. Now, AB is equals to CD. So when these two sides are equal, so we know, and this is the third side which is common. So by side, I can prove that these two triangles are congruent, right? So moment I know they are congruent, what will happen now, guys? It will make our things easy. Yes, that it does. So it does is it makes our things easy, and it tells me when they are equal and congruent, that means that this is equals to this, and it is half of a whole parallelogram that I wanted to explain. And this was able to do it with just a second. ठीक है, इसमें क्या करा, दोनों triangles को congruent proof करा. Congruent है तो equal है तो half हो जाएंगे क्योंकि उसका half है. Simple as that. So this can be done in just 2 seconds. Alright, so I hope this theorem was a super easy one. Yes, so now I know AC bisects the parallelogram of ABCD into two equal triangles. Moving on to next theorem, it says the diagonal of a parallelogram bisects each other. So ये बहुत important है कि bisects करने के लिए. इसमें एक problem आती है जो बच्चे हमेशा करते हैं. Let me explain you beautifully and easily. Okay, everyone stay tuned. This will help you to understand the concept super easily. So अब क्या करना है, मुझे ये शो करना है कि वो बाइसेक्ट कर रहा है. तो बाइसेक्ट करने में क्या कर रहा है, AC is equals to EC, AE is equals to EC and EG is equals to EP. मैं ये सबको इक्वल नहीं कह रही हूँ, मैं कह रही हूँ कि वो डायगनल्स को बाइसेक्ट करता है, तो अपने डायगनल को टू इक्वल हाफ्स में बाइसेक्ट करता है. दैट इज व्हाट यू नीड टू रिमेंबर, राइट? This is what it means. So when I say it's a parallelogram, like AB is parallel to CD, so I know when it's a parallelogram, it's parallel. That means it's parallel as well as they are equal, right? So now this side is equals to this one, and I also know that angle ABE will be equals to this angle ABE will be equals to this one, because these two lines are parallel and equal. So this becomes the alternative interior angles. On the other hand, when I talk about this one, what does it mean? This angle would be equal to this angle, and this side is equal. So by these, I'm able to prove that these two triangles are congruent. Right, so I'm able to prove that triangle ADE is congruent to triangle CED. अगर मैंने congruency prove कर लिया तो उसका मतलब क्या है कि ये वाली side जो है वो इसके equal हो गई, and this side is equals to this side, and that was it was required for me to prove. क्यों? CPCT से. So I can say that these two triangles are congruent. That gives me that AE is equals to EC and BE is equals to CD, because they are congruent and the sides are being divided. So whenever they are divided into two equal parts, it is bisector. All right, so here we go. Let's understand doing it practically. कि सच्ची में ऐसा कैसे होता है, visualize करना is really very important, and that's what we aim at our Swiflearn platform, that you get to know the in front of you that what is actually happening. Is it really true or not? All right, so here we go. Let's first evaluate what is happening. First of all, let's see, is it a parallelogram? Yes, this side is parallel to this side, means AB is parallel to CD, BC is parallel to AD, and here also AB is equals to CD, and BC is equals to AD, right? So this we are able to know. Let's see what happens to the angles. Are the angles displaying all the four equal? Yes. So now I see that both the opposite angles are equal. So this angle is equals to this one and this angle is equals to this. So this shows the property of a parallelogram that says that both the opposite sides are parallel and equal. The opposite angles are also equal. All right. Moving on to next property that we have studied. We have studied the next property that it divides into two equal triangles. So when I talk about this triangle, its triangle is ABC. The other one is a triangle ADB. So this side we talk about, this is another triangle and this is another triangle. So we can divide it into two equal halves of a triangle. Moving on to next one, what do we have to do? We have to show the diagonal. So when I look at the diagonals, yes, when we are talking about this particular measurement, this diagonal AE. So I know AE is equals to EC, and when I talk about DE is equals to EP, so this is equal because that says 3.29 and this says equals to 6.69. So when I am able to understand and visualize कि parallelogram जब भी आपको बोला जाए, what are the things that you need to remember? Opposite sides parallel, opposite sides equal, opposite angles equal, diagonals bisect each other, the diagonal one of the triangle divides the parallelogram into two equal triangles. All right, so these are the four things that you need to keep in mind before understanding. So a parallelogram word से हमें पता चल रहा है कि what are the things that we need to do. All right, so here we go. Think yourself and give me the answer. So I want the answers from you quickly. The diagonal of the rectangle bisect each other. Is it true? Yes, everyone. I want the answer. True or false? The diagonals of a rectangle bisect each other. Is it true? Yes, that's true. Why is it? Because rectangle is a form of a parallelogram and that satisfies the property of a parallelogram, and parallelogram we have studied. It's true, so that means it's true. A diagonal of a quadrilateral bisect each other. Is it true? True or false? Quickly, true or false? Yes, guys, it's false because the quadrilateral is a broader prospect and parallelogram is a smaller one. So in a quadrilateral, all the diagonals do not bisect each other. So it's a false. Moving on to the third question. Let me see how many of you can give it. The diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other at 90 degrees. Did you see that? Did it bisect each other at 90 degrees? No, it did not make an angle of 90 degrees. So that's false. It bisects, that's true, but it does not bisect at a right angle triangle stripe 90 degrees. All right. Moving on to next one, fourth question. The diagonal of a rhombus bisects it. Is it true? Yes, because rhombus is a parallelogram. We know it, and parallelogram properties will automatically be solved by rhombus. That's true. Moving on to the fifth one, everyone quickly give me the answer. The quadrilateral whose four sides are equal is a square. Think about it. Yes, true or false? The quadrilateral whose four sides are equal is a square. True. How about rhombus? Are they same? All the four sides are equal? It's a rhombus, not a quadrilateral which has four sides equal? Yes. So is it always a square? No, it can be a rhombus too. That's why we will say it is a false answer. Very good. Every rhombus is a parallelogram. Yes, that's true. It satisfies the properties that opposite angles are equal, opposite sides are parallel and equal. The diagonals bisect each other. Right? That's true. Great, everyone. So let's solve this question. So let's understand how to do the theoretical questions when they're asked in your school exam. So it says in a parallelogram A, B, C, D, AB is 20. So let me name it that AB is 20 centimeter. AD is 12 centimeter. The bisector of the angle A meets at the point E, which is produced till F to find the length of EF. I need to find this length. All right, so let's see how many of you can do this. Think about it. It's a bisector of this. That means this side of the angle, it says it bisects. So we said, okay, it's a bisector. That means let me bisect it and make it into two halves by saying it X and X. Bisect कर रहा है ना, तो दोनों को equal half में divide कर रहा है. Equal half के लिए मैंने इसको मेजर कर लिया x के terms पे. Okay, so let us see how are we able to do it. So here we go with our first question that we have for it. See, it's given that AB is 20 centimeter, AD is 12. Now it's bisected, so that's why you need to say that is ADF is an isosceles triangle, which angle is BAF, and BAF is equals to X. So when I talk about this, why am I doing it? If you look at it carefully, what will happen is this side of a triangle, when we are talking about two sides are parallel, one becomes a transversal, will give me that the alternative angles are equal, right? So in that case, we will not be able to do it because this side will give me this alternative whole angle, but I don't know that one. But now we can use the property by saying that it is evident that ABC, the triangle that we are talking about, is this one. So this triangle that we are talking about is an isosceles triangle. And now when it is an isosceles triangle, that means the opposite sides are equal. Two sides, not the opposite side, means two sides are equal. Any two sides can be equal, right? So if this one I'm saying, that gives me that BAF this angle and BFA this angle is equal, that gives me this side and this side is equal. Because it's an isosceles triangle, the opposite side, this side and this side is easily, when we extend to CF, it's equal. That will give me that these two angles are equal. That will come out to be, this is also X, right? So now what is happening now? What I get to know is that these are X. So AB is equals to BF. But what is the value of AC? That is given, it equal to AD. So that means I know that AC is equals to 12. अगर AD यहाँ पे 12 है, तो BC यहाँ तक जो area है, वो भी 12 centimeter होगा. So can I find the value of ES? Yes, now it's easy. What is 20 minus 12? Simple, right? So 20 minus 12 will give you 8 centimeters. So the value of CF is 8 centimeter. Very good. Moving on to next question. Let's see how many of you can do it. The along side of the figure shows that the parallelogram ABCD, AE is equals to EF is equals to FC. हमें ये चीज already mentioned है कि this side, this much length is equals to this much length and it's equals to the other one, right? CF and FC, the whole one, right? So this is what is actually proven to us. So let me name it properly. Why it's happening is, see, it's EF, it should be here, then EF and then FC, right? So these are the way the lines are being made and they are given to us. What I need to prove that this side DE is parallel to BF. So in that case, this should be parallel. That means they should not meet. So let us extend in some other color and see actually they look like parallel or they don't do. So just give me a second for a moment. Let me do it. So here we go. And let me draw this one from here. Let's see, is it parallel or not? All right. So let me select it and bring it a little down and see. So it looks like somewhat like a parallel because it has to be parallel. First of all, that I need to prove. So let me make it properly, joining the line to see. See, now can you see that they are parallel? This is what they want me to prove. And they want me to know that the DE is equals to CB. And we want to know that DEBF, this one that we are going to make. Then I was trying to make it this one. When you see what happens, this side is a quadrilateral. So D, E, F, and B. So this one, whole things, this one becomes a parallelogram or not. So that's what they want me to know it. So let's see how many of you can do that. So first of all, when we are joining it, they want me that this whole should be a parallelogram. That's what they're saying. So we will join DF and EB and we'll make a diagonal BD which passes to the point of O. ठीक है, हमने क्वाड्रिलैटरल बनाना है, हम इसको प्रूव करना है कि उसके बीच का एरिया. So that's why I need to prove that I'm joining this side and making a quadrilateral as a complete, which they wanted me to prove. अब parallelogram बनाने के लिए उसके बाद मेरे को diagonals की जरूरत है and I made that BD is a diagonal, all right, and which meets the line of AC at O. Since it's a diagonal, that means it's bisect each other. That means that OA, this side OA will be equals to OC and OB, this one, two-sided, I'm making it bigger one, will be equals to OP. So ye baat to pata hai, this side is equals to this one, this is equals to this one, right? So we are able to prove that's a diagonal. That means it diverts and it breaks it into two ones, all right? Moving on to the next one. Yes, Jasmine, we'll surely have a Vedic session. Don't worry. For that, you need to subscribe to the channel and press on the bell icon. Remember that, okay? So that will give you the notification. I am not able to tell you right away. So there's nothing fixed. We get to know just a few minutes or 1 or 2 days before. So I'm not able to comment you anything right now. We are coming up with the next really, very soon. Just be connected, subscribe to the channel and press on the bell icon so that you can be there. All right, moving on to next one, that AE is equals to EF is equals to FC. So this is what is given to us. Now I know this side is equal. So what will give me that OC? OE will be equals to OF. Can I get to know this? Yes. So that's what I'll do. अगर मेरे को total बड़ी side पता है तो और मुझे पता है कि पूरा उसकी equal है तो छोटे वाले को subtract कर लेंगे. When I get the equal side, so that's what we are doing. Now OA is equals to OC. AE is equals to FC. So what will it? Now let us subtract. We'll get OE is equals to OF. So अभी तक क्या हो गया? ये मेरे को छोटा diagonal जो मिल रहा था, smaller part, I got to know that it is equal. Now OE is equals to OF. Moving on to next one. What do we have? We have that thus the quadrilateral D, E, F, and B. So D, B, F, and B is not the way. How do you write it? It should be D, E, B, F. The proper way that we have to write becomes a quadrilateral where OB is equals to OD. OE is equals to OF because it is a parallelogram where the opposite sides are equal, the diagonals are equal and bisecting each other. So that becomes a quadrilateral itself. All right. So when I am able to prove that they are parallel, then only I can say a parallelogram. Otherwise, I'll say it's a quadrilateral. So diagonals bisect each other. So that becomes that this is bisecting each other and it's a parallelogram, of course. All right. All right. So when it's a parallelogram, that means DE is parallel to BF. And now DE is equals to BF, that the opposite sides are equal. And then we can prove that it becomes a parallelogram. All right, so I hope that was easy. We were just able to finalize and look at the things, what was given to us and evaluate. So here we go. I'm giving you one question that you need to try and give me the answer in the comment box that were you able to do it or not. Otherwise, I'll be here to help you in the comment box, but I'm not giving the answer right away. So I want each one of you to try this with the steps that we were doing. Just follow the first question that we did and try it on your own. So it is along a diagram that ABCD is a parallelogram in which AP is bisects the angle and P is bisecting, AP is bisecting the angle A. So this becomes X, this also becomes X, it's bisecting. And PQ bisects the angle P. So this becomes Y, this becomes Y, right? So this is what is happening. Now what they want us to prove that AQ is equals to BP. So this side is equal. So first of all, they want us to prove this. The second one, it says that PQ, this side that we will be making will PQ is equals to CT. So upper one. So that is also given. And then we have to prove the lower one, ABPQ as a parallelogram. So now I've given you the hint that it is X. What do you think? It's a triangle which we can consider. And now what we need to prove, we have to prove that these two triangles are congruent. And with the help of it, we will be able to prove. When we are able to prove that they are congruent, what will happen? We will have a bigger aspect, and then this congruency will make us prove this automatically by CPCT. How you have to prove the congruency, that you need to think over it. Okay, so I won't be here telling you the exact answer. Think over it. How can you do and how can you prove that it's congruent and they are equal? And now finally, you have to prove that ABPQ is a parallelogram. All right, so this is a takeaway question that I need the answer in the comment box, that you really enjoyed the session and you were able to solve and understand. If you really want to look forward to us and listen to us, you should remember, need to subscribe to the channel, press on the bell icon so that you never miss any update. So you don't come later on and saying, oh my God, I was late. My teacher went away and I could not ask the topics that are related to it, because we are just coming for you YouTube kids here so that you can also learn with us and understand the concept easily. All right, hope to see you till then. Take care. Bye bye. Enjoy yourself. Bye guys.